I'm back. I'm back. Hold on. Okay. What's up, everyone? It's good to see you. I made it back home. I know I went radio silent for like 2 days. I really needed to catch up on sleep. I didn't sleep for like almost 24 hours when we were traveling. So I just needed a day or two to get right. But it's great to see everybody. It's also been kind of a tough couple of days. So I lost one of my dogs yesterday. So if I'm not my normal jovial self, that's why. But it's great to see everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm here with Indy. Indy's happy to be here. Hey DJ, thank you. Yeah, it was brutal, but I'm doing okay. It was my dog Bodhi. He was 12. And you know what? That's kind of all you could ever ask for as far as time goes for a gigantic 140-pound dog. So I think I got a lot more than I ever could have asked for with him, and yeah. So anyway, sucks losing anyone you care about, human or non-human. Sometimes it's more brutal when you lose non-humans. But yeah. So I think I think the way that I'm grieving has improved a lot since I lost my last dog, Uma, to that car accident. So I feel a lot more grounded these days, you know. And, you know, I feel Uma every day, and she was only a year when I lost her. So, you know, yeah, I'm happy I got a lot more time with Bodhi. Hey, Rory. Oh, I lost one of my dogs yesterday. My old Great Pyrenees, Bodhi, he was 12. So, yeah, it was brutal. Thanks, Rory. Yeah, you know, the toughest part when I moved out here to the island with Indy, I could only bring one of my dogs at a time, and my older dog was staying with my dad, and I realized that he was way too sick or old to do the trip, because it's a long trip. Like when I moved out here with Indy, we had to do an 8-hour plane ride to Finland, and then we had to do an 11-hour ship ride right after that. So it'd be too much for him. But thank you, Claudia. But you know what? It's life, you know. None of us are here forever, dogs included. And it's what we sign up for, right? So I'm really grateful to him. And I'll see him again. And now Uma's got some company on the other side. Stop bothering me so much. But yeah, it's great to see everybody. So I'm pretty caught up on sleep, I think. But thank you all. That's really kind of all of you. I love you all so much. Thank you. You guys make it always better. I got coffee. The sun is out. I'm back home. I love it here. It's beautiful. Not quite as warm as I would like it to be, but I guess that's kind of par for the course here, being up by Sweden. So yeah, it's only about 69 degrees here right now. So it never really ever gets more than like 73, 74 here, but summer lasts a little shorter here. Winter's a little bit longer, but it does stay light out till about midnight here. So do you guys want to say hi to Indy? Hi. Yeah. Hi. You want to say hi? Well, Indy's very happy that I'm home. I was gone for 10 days, but I had a great trip back to New York. It was really fun. I got to see all my friends, went to the beach. It's funny, you know, my girlfriend hasn't been out of the country very much. You said I look dark. Sure, user, I'll be your homie. Are you guys really questioning if I'm mixed raced? Well, I guess I am a mixed race. I'm half Italian, and apparently, I just found this out. I'm 50% Italian because my dad is 100%. And on my mom's side, I guess technically I'm Russian. The truth of it is I'm not so much Russian as I am some part of the Soviet Union, some country from the Soviet Union that no longer exists. I'm like some disbanded country that is now modern day. I think it's Russia. Do I worship the devil? No. I don't worship any god or deity. Hey sports, tattoo disease is spreading everywhere. Maybe Yugoslavia. I could actually look it up, but you think I worship cards? What makes you think I worship cards? Wasn't the Bible printed by men? I don't worship anything, but I think it's funny that you say that because I'm pretty sure the Bible was printed by men and written by men, so. Oh, hey, Crystal. Hey, Ninja. You like to watch Crystal? Thank you so much for that super chat. It's great to see you. Crystal, I just got back today. I was in the States the last 10 days. It's great to see you. All right, horror movie to recommend. The Devil's Candy is one of my favorite. I think you're, I think your perception of tarot is completely inaccurate to get out and game. Because this is not for predicting the future. I mean, it can be, but it's not inherently for that purpose. But, you know, it's a lot easier to make uninformed assumptions about things and judge them than it is to take the time to actually learn and read and educate yourself on things. What's wrong with playing cards? My best friend has a bachelor's degree from Dartmouth, and he's a professional Magic the Gathering player. I think if you can earn a living in some level of your personal convictions and from a place of integrity, doing something that you like to do, I think that's all that matters. Professional scammer. Yeah, I would agree. I think a lot of tarot readers and psychics tend to exploit and profit off of people, specifically people's pain. But, I mean, it's your first time here. I guess you would have no idea, right? You don't know me at all. Perhaps that's why I do my show for free. So, hey, Gold White Dragon. Wow, we're getting some big questions today. What is humanity's purpose? Actually, you mean what is the meaning of life? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? Hey, Dua. You know, Gold White Dragon, I've spent a lot of time thinking about that, staring at my ceiling at 3 a.m. And you know, the only thing I can come to is that there might not be any sort of meaning. Help the universe understand itself, perhaps. But to me, purpose and meaning, that's like a very human, I'd say almost very self-centered view. Because meaning and purpose can be bad or good. You know? People derive purpose from many ways. You know? Some people derive purpose from helping other people. Some people derive their sense of purpose from, I don't know, fucking blowing up buses full of other people. So, am I a dog? I actually feel like I'm more wild horse than dog, but... Crystal, thanks for that super chat. That was really kind. Crystal, I lost one of my dogs yesterday, so I'm a little down today. Definitely one of those introspective days. Yeah, my older dog Bodhi passed away. I'm really glad I got to see him though one more time. You said dogs are more loyal than humans. I don't think that's a hot take. Ooh, Lionel Richie. Thanks. Yeah, he was 12, which is, you know, I think a lot more than I ever could have asked for a giant Great Pyrenees that was 140 pounds. So, but you know, I still have my other one. I still got Indy. Yeah, I did. Yeah, his name was Bodhi. Actually, I named him Bodhi because he looked exactly like Patrick Swayze from Point Break. Thank you. I appreciate it, Rick. Yeah, I took like 2 days. We got in Monday evening, so I took a couple days to just sleep it off. But, you know, I was saying earlier, you know, my other dog, because I used to have 3, my other dog, Uma, who passed away, you know, her and I got hit by a car in the end of 2024, you know, and she died in my arms. She was 1.5 years old, and that took a lot out of me. It was brutal, but I think since then, you know, the way I think I process grief has changed a lot, and, you know, I definitely feel a lot more grounded. You know, I think in my views and understandings of death and, you know, our time here. So, so I'm doing okay. You know, I'll see him again. I mean, it's my personal knowing that, you know, when I move on to the next life, I'm gonna have a dog army in the afterlife of every dog I've ever had. I've gotten every dog I've had since I was a little boy cremated, and I don't know if I'm gonna get buried, but wherever I get laid to rest, it's gonna be with the ashes of every dog I've ever had my entire life. So I'm very confident about having a dog army in the afterlife. So, Bulk of Strain, why do you keep asking me if I love Jesus? Why do you care? Aww. Hey, Grace, that's sweet. 2 Rottweilers, okay. So you like Rick, you have big dog energy too then. I love big dogs. Indy's like 120 pounds. Do a kick flip. You know, Alonzo, at one point I could. No skateboard here. You haven't been able to get another dog? Hold on, sorry guys, just want to stretch. Stay. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hey. Come here. Six dogs. Wow. Well, you know what? I'll always have dogs. You know, someone told me once that pets are the reincarnated souls of kids we haven't had yet, and they come into this life to watch out for us, teach us something, and once we've learned what needs to be learned, they leave our life. I thought that was kind of beautiful. Do I think romantic love is fake? Not at all. I think love is, I think it's our rawest, most basic form of intuition. Real love. You know, a lot of people, I don't think ever really tap in or actualize their own intuition fully, but to me, love is like the rawest form of that. You know, in tarot, the cup suit designates our feelings, our intuition, our emotions. It's what we feel. It's not what we think. You know, feelings have nothing to do with our left brain. It's what we feel. And I think real love is like the rawest form of that. You know, it's not something we have to tell ourselves. It's something we feel. So, you said you think it's fake because it's our human biology which drive us to reproduce. I think you're oversimplifying it. You know why? Because you can, I mean, you know, I just was speaking about my dog that died. You know, I have the deepest form of love and feelings of love for my dog. That has nothing to do with biology and reproduction at all. Wow, guys, we're getting some very interesting comments today in the chat. I love it. As many of you know, who already know me, you know, I really enjoy talking about things like this. You know, things that none of us really have the answers to. All we can do is, I think, share all of our perspectives with the hope that we can maybe look at things differently from a compassionate way, because no one really knows. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah. Well, you know what, Rich? I won't tell you you're outright wrong, because I don't know, but I think there's something to it. You know, I think there's some, you know, biological function, you know, because we are animals, right? There has to be something to, you know, make us want to reproduce, but I don't think it's that simple. But I don't think love is fake. I think it's real. You said you're an atheist? Okay. I would say I'm more of a pluralist. But I'm definitely, I don't, you know, I can understand atheism. I think it's like a, I think it's an unreasonable deduction to come to, you know, because none of us really have proof of any concept. You know, Andrew, I do have a hyperactive disorder. But no drugs for me. I filled my quota a long time ago. Troy, that's not proof. Well, you know what? The reason I don't think I can fully accept wholeheartedly the idea that just nothing happens afterwards, I guess that's what atheism is I guess just the idea that I've experienced too much extraordinary shit in my life that defies reasoning. You know, things I don't have an answer for. I mean, I don't know how you tie this into some kind of religion or spirituality, but I actually don't. I try to compartmentalize it a little bit, but I mean, I've experienced so much paranormal shit in my life. I mean, where does that fit into atheism? Good for you, Andrew. Thanks for catching everybody up to speed. Okay. Hey, Staffas. Is this tarot? Sometimes. All right, well, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping by. Anna, you asked if I can see if your son's health is going to improve. Anna, I'm sorry, and it's nice to meet you. Anna, I don't think I can. I think that's really unethical. That would be really unethical for me to do, and that's not my place, okay? No one other than a licensed doctor or medical professional should be commenting or giving you, it's okay, giving you advice or telling you how your son's health is gonna be, okay? But you know what? I really wish him the best. I don't know what's going on with him. But, well, you know what? I'm not a Christian, Troy, but I do love to read, and I like to read about as much and as many different things as I can. I love to, I read basically every psychology book I can get my hands on. I've read a good deal about Buddhism and Judaism, and Jesus. And you know what? I do think that some of the things Jesus spoke about were beautiful and great advice. I don't think it has anything to do with the Bible. I think they're just, really profound, I think, basic ways that I absolutely agree with. He speaks a lot about compassion and kindness and love being more important than religious practice or ritual. He speaks a lot about hypocrisy being, I think, the greatest sin of all, right? So I absolutely agree with that. I think the way you treat people is a lot more important than whether or not you wear a fucking gold chain with a cross on it. And I also kind of reject the idea guys, if the only thing that keeps your virtues in check or keeps you in a place of making good choices is this expectation of getting something or getting some reward at the end of your life, or if the only thing keeping you from not doing bad is this fear of punishment at the end of your life, to me, I don't know. You might not be a very good person if the only thing keeping your morals in check is like some expectation of reward or some fear of punishment. To me, isn't it more of a virtue to be good and do good just to do good, or to be kind, or to treat other people with kindness just to be kind, with absolutely no expectation of being rewarded at the end of your life for it? What do I know? I just think that if the only thing keeping your morals in check is this promise that you're gonna go to fucking heaven if you're a good person, that's the only thing, preventing you from, I don't know, going off the rails. I don't know. To me, that kind of makes you a little bit of a piece of shit, so. Thanks, Turtle. Stressed, Tom Holland. I'm not stressed, but I'm definitely a little sad today. One of my dogs died yesterday, so. What? In what? 7? All right, let's pull, you know what? I'm gonna pull an advice card for everybody. Thanks, Kaiju. All right, I want everybody to focus on what's been on their mind recently. I'm gonna pull a card for advice, okay? Guys, they're closing in a few minutes, so I'm gonna relocate. Sorry about that, guys. Just experiencing that shuffle. You know, Nate, true story, I could never shuffle, but one day I just woke up and magically I could do that. All right. Okay, everyone. What does everybody need to know for their highest good right now? Ooh, that card just flew out. This is an interesting card, guys. This might even relate to me a little bit. What this card represents is a feeling of loss, grief, sadness, but there's actually a lot of hope around this too. You know, often we go through something difficult and there can be feelings of like regret, loss, sadness attached to this. Do you see how this person is focused on these 3 cups that are spilt? What this person is failing to see is the 2 completely full cups right behind them. What this speaks about is, well, it's about choosing to focus on it's about choosing what you focus your attention on. It also speaks to gratitude, you know? I think we often look at what is going wrong for us rather than appreciating and being grateful for what we have, you know? Sometimes we go to bed and, you know, all we can think about is how we only have $200 left in our bank account, and it creates this feeling of lack. You know, often it's about rewiring our thoughts, going to sleep, and being grateful that we still have $200 left. This also tells us that you very well may not be seeing it, but there's actually something really good that's already existing in your world, in your energy. Something really great is right there. It's already existing within your world. You just might not be seeing it yet because you're not supposed to, or because you're so hyper-focused on something bad. Sometimes it's hard to see something good, you know? I don't know, let's say you're grieving somebody who broke up with you, somebody that you shouldn't even be with, and you're so upset and sad.
We're closing.
Okay. I'm getting kicked out. You're so sad that you don't even realize that the girl of your dreams actually is walking right by you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna relocate. Guys, give me a second. Hey, Jackie. I have to move outside because they're closing. It's 7 here, so. I'm gonna see if I can get this to go. One moment. Okay. 1 second, guys. Give me a second. Come on. Come here. Up. Come here. Okay. Everybody good? Okay. Thank you. Duck. Okay. All right, I think that's good. Can you guys see me okay? Hey, Brandon. Thanks, man. I'm having an okay day. I'm back home, but I did lose one of my dogs died yesterday, so yeah, today's a little bit. But on the note of 5 of Cups, you know, there's a lot I do feel grateful for, you know, so, and I'm very grateful for all the time I got with my dog, so. He was 12. Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, I feel really grateful that I got to spend time with him before he passed away. So, thanks, Crystal. Which country? I live in the Åland Islands. It's an archipelago in the Baltic Sea. It's by Stockholm, Sweden, and Finland. You said you don't believe in morals or virtues, you believe in following the law? Okay. I actually respectfully disagree, because law changes. I mean, if you live in the States, each state has different laws. In New York, you can go buy pot on the corner. If you're in Mississippi, you know, you can go to prison for 15 years for what you purchase legally in New York. I actually find many laws to be extremely anachronistic, you know? And I think often, like, popular will and laws are, I mean, so far away. Sometimes it feels like, you know, right and wrong is on like a 20-year tape delay from what you actually get in trouble for. So, I think all we have is virtue and convictions. And I actually find that to be a huge problem. I think many people that I continue to meet lack conviction. I think people's sense of, you know, morality and convictions and integrity is extremely malleable. What does, think rich, what does Voltaire say? You know, when it's a matter of money, we're all the same religion. When it's a matter of money, everyone's the same religion. I'll tell you that my personal sense of convictions and integrity doesn't change depending on what the law is. I have my own belief systems for what I believe to be right and wrong, and it's not influenced by others. I'm actually going to hit you with another quote. I think Oscar Wilde says this. He says, most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinion. And damn if he's not right. So, but what do I know? Don't mind me, guys. I'm going to have a smoke. And just so you all know, I'm actually actively working on quitting. So, but not at this moment. It is a slow process. One second. Boy, Indy. You guys want to say hi to Indy? You know what? I feel like we got kind of interrupted. I think I'm going to pull one more card for advice. No familiar American brands. I actually got these in Sweden, Brandon. I usually roll my own cigarettes, but All right. I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna do another energy reading for everybody who's here. And Crystal, thank you so much for that super chat. Oh, thanks, FKJ. Yeah, I have a lot of my spirit animals tattooed on me. One of my best friends actually did that on my arm. Nice, Jakey boy. Crystal, I feel like I should pull a card for you because you gave me such a generous super chat. You're always so thoughtful. Crystal, is there anything you need some guidance on? Of course I'm not obliged, but it's the least I can do. I mean, you're so generous. And I always prioritize super chat questions and donations. You always donate and you never ask for anything in return. Do I believe not everything is meant to exist? Some stuff shouldn't exist? That's a very interesting question. I don't think I've ever gotten that before. Meant to? Damn, that's a pretty profound question. You know, after I got hit by a car, and I felt like some weird switch turned on. You know, for a while, you know, there was things that I felt like I could see or feel that I felt like no one should be able to. But I don't know if things are meant to or not meant to. I think that's where free will comes into play. You know? I think sometimes I know this is going to come off kind of bleak. I think sometimes we tend to make ourselves more important than in reality I think any of us really are. You know? I don't know. But it's a great question, and thanks for asking it. You said you can feel energy? Yeah. Yeah, I tend to hear things in sounds. Okay, Crystal. Crystal, is everything going well for you? Yeah. Combat Insiders. Well said. You know, Carl Jung wrote a book. Do you guys know Carl Jung? Like one of the godfathers of psychology. He wrote a book called Synchronicity, which is fascinating if anybody likes to read. It's a little wordy, naturally, because it's Carl Jung. But one of the things he talks about is people as a whole and their, I guess, like inherent nature to like attach meaning to things. And he actually found it kind of unexplainable how there's like this phenomenon where you do attach meaning to something and it starts to become something else. It starts to like almost defy any sort of like causality or even like probability. It's pretty interesting. Okay. Oh, it's all right, Crystal. Troy isn't causing too much trouble. All right. Crystal, let's pull a card. Ooh, it's getting a little chilly out here. Okay. Do I think some people are meant to find each other, but never meant to stay together? Perhaps. Perhaps, yeah. You know, again, I don't know anything. You know, all I have is, you know, what I've read, and I guess the only like deductions I can, you know, I can come to, you know, it's my personal perspective that, you know, much, I think, of our world or many moments, I think, are deterministic. And I think with some respect, you know, meant to happen or meant to find us. And I think through those moments, our free will, you know, is ultimately going to dictate, you know, what timeline we go down or, you know, or walk of the infinite numbers of timelines. And I think from like a more of like a scientific perspective, I mean, there's, you know, a lot of, hey, come here. There's a lot of people who study like theoretical physics who actually have done the math to like support, I guess, like the infinite timeline theory. It's pretty brilliant. And I, you know, that's the only reasonable conclusion I think I can come to. I think we have like a very deterministic world, and I think we have free will within those constraints. So, do I think we're meant to meet certain people? Perhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps they're even supposed to teach us things about ourselves or lessons. whether we choose to learn those lessons, I think is a completely different discussion and topic. Okay, Crystal. Thanks for the question, though, or the comment. That was a great one. I can spend a lot of time talking about that because I would consider myself to have an atypical sleep cycle. So more often than not, at like 3 a.m., I'm reading, or I'm staring at my ceiling, or I'm on my deck, in some deep introspection. But yeah, I don't know. A part of me does believe that we're meant to, I don't know, maybe meet people or experience certain kind of, I hate using the word fated, but like, things along our path that, we're always meant to experience, absent of what we choose to do about it, or, what we choose to learn. So, okay. Hey, Balstavius, do tarot cards really work? Can I use regular cards? Well, that's two questions. I'm not going to bake it into one answer, but can I use playing cards, like a normal deck of cards, to read tarot? Absolutely. I actually really enjoy doing that. And when you say work, I think you're asking the wrong question. That's what I would suggest, because it's not so much about it working. Okay, Crystal, one card for you. Crystal, don't say anything to me. I want you to think about something you've been struggling with. I want you to picture something in your head about how you should be proceeding with something, okay? Can you use Uno cards? I don't think so, but perhaps. I mean, we were just talking about Carl Jung's theory on how people apply meaning to things, and it suddenly taking on a whole new, I guess, set of meanings. So you know what, guys? Perhaps tomorrow I'll use a deck of playing cards when I read. Okay, Crystal, you got it? Crystal, can we get a card for Crystal's question? How does Crystal need to proceed with what she's struggling with? Interesting, Crystal. You got a major arcana. Pisces, the Hanged Man, 12. Number 12 might be significant. I'm going to share some of the, I guess, the themes that are coming up for me. The Hangman is about detachment. It's to me the most spiritual card of all the cards, and that's just my personal opinion. detachment is the ultimate pathway to higher consciousness, at least in Buddhism. It's a beautiful card. It's one of the most confounding cards too, because it's quite paradoxical in nature. Like everything about it is like counterintuitive. It's somebody suspended upside down, and there's an energy of surrender. It tells us that often, like, the way to accomplish something is, it's almost going to be like antithetical. Sometimes the best way to actually move forward is to not move at all, is to be still. It's to not force things. It's to, look at things from a different perspective and to be still. So sometimes we feel stuck because we, I think, tend to only look at certain problems from one angle, when often, we always have multiple choices. There's always choices, guys. There's never one way to do something. And I think sometimes some of the things we struggle with, it's about finding different perspectives and new ways to look at the problem, to find a solution, I love this card. I consider myself to be a problem solver, before anything else. And a fire starter and extinguisher too, but this card, Crystal, is about detachment, being still, letting the answers come to you, and sometimes doing nothing right now can be the best way to solve the problem. But I do think that there's a need for you to look at whatever your question was differently. Maybe there's a different approach that you're not thinking of. Wow, great card. Holy shit, guys. You know what I just realized? Do you remember I said 12? We're going to talk about synchronicities. Do you remember I said 12? Can anybody recall what today's date is? I believe it's the 12th. How's that for statistical probability? That's pretty interesting. Crystal, okay. I'm actually getting something else. I need you to look this up. You don't have to do it this moment, but I think this might relate for you. Crystal, I want you to look into a rune, a Nordic rune. It's standing out to me, and it's going to be inversed, so I want you to just flip it. You see this rune? That thing should be facing the other way for you. It's the line. I actually have a book of runes. Maybe I'm gonna start bringing it with me. That one's really standing out to me. I think it might speak to your message. Let me know what you find on it, okay? Do I have a pen? Do I have a pen? Hold on. Fuck. Damn, I don't have a pen on me. Sorry, Crystal. Okay. Oof. It's so quiet here. I'll tell you guys, there's nothing quite like being in New York City and then coming back to this island. KH Kayati, is that your name? Hey, Kayati. You said light a cigarette, the fly will go away. Good boy, Indy. Hey, Kay. Oh, Momo, that sounds lovely. You know, Momo, that's probably my favorite part of being home. Our house we have no neighbor. Actually, we do. Our only neighbors next door, we have 5 horses as neighbors, but our backyard is just nothing but trees. We actually have an apple tree that just started growing apples, so. Sitting in their car. You love nature and quiet too? Yeah. You know, Zoe, I think for a long time, I was always very extroverted. And, you know, I think when I left my old life to start doing this, I spent so much time alone. Sometimes it was forced, you know, I kind of forced myself to be alone. You know, in the past, I would try and surround myself with people so I wouldn't have to feel things. Hold on, sorry, Indy. But, you know, I don't really know what I believe. You know, I'm almost hesitant to even call myself spiritual. Hey, I just don't like the word. You know, I think it has a lot of different meanings and connotations. And, you know, I still don't really know how to put together, you know, I think all the things I've experienced into one, I think, concise meaning. But I will say that the closest I think I've ever felt to something bigger than me has always been through silence. So, or nature. And you know what? I don't even know if I'm extroverted anymore. I mean, I've always been really comfortable around people. And it was kind of, I think, a byproduct of my old jobs, you know, when I had to put on a suit and tie. But I actually really enjoy spending time alone. You prefer introverted the older you get. I think that's normal. You know, I'm 38, and, you know, I think the more you become comfortable with who you are and you stop trying to make other people happy, I think it's normal that your circle gets a lot smaller. So, well, I've never been quiet, but I do know how to be quiet and listen. You think smoking is addictive? I'd suggest you might be correct. Yeah, well, it takes a lifetime to, I think, understand yourself. And you know what? I mean, fuck, guys, life's barely long enough to get good at one thing, so. And Brandon, thank you for that email. I do readings? Yes. Oh, yeah. I guess I should mention to everybody, I do offer private readings if anybody would be interested. I actually have some free time this week. So, yeah, if you'd like a private reading with me off air through FaceTime, please just email me. My email's in my video description and on my channel page. It's the WhiteDogTarot at Gmail. I offer half-hour private readings for $40 and hour readings for $75. So, and we can get a lot done when I'm not being distracted by a chat. So, and check out my membership program too. You can join my White Dog Army. Should you pressure your art career? Outer Scope Records. You know, I don't smoke pot anymore. Believe it or not, where I live, it's actually illegal. Or it's, when I say illegal, like you can't buy it here. It's decriminalized here, but you bought a house on a river 30 minutes from a tiny town. That's okay. That sounds beautiful. Where'd you buy a house? You know, my house in New York was right on the Hudson River, right right outside a tiny town too. So, but you know what? I think having a house away from people doesn't have to limit your social interaction. I think it's kind of like a nice reprieve. So, Genevieve, do I have any messages for you? Well, what's on your mind? And guys, please feel free to subscribe. And please feel free to donate to my weird show. You know, for everybody who doesn't know, and I know this might come as a little bit of a shock, but, you know, before I did this, I was actually the manager of a geospatial technology company, which is the most unsexy thing a tarot reader has ever said. And, you know, after I almost died, you know, I decided to leave all that because I felt called to do this, to start a show, a free show to try and help other people. And I will tell you, it definitely taught me a lot about myself, going from an old job where I was making over, you know, I mean, I was making a lot of money. I mean, I wasn't the richest person, but, you know, I was making over 6 figures. I was miserable. Going from that to making 0 taught me a lot about how little I actually needed to be happy. But, you know, with that said, you know, my show and I would say my income is this. So, so all of you guys power my show. So your donations are always very much appreciated. New Mexico. Okay, cool. I love New Mexico. Well, I'm from New York, kind of. It's where I was born. But I live in the Åland Islands, out by Sweden and Finland. Later, Frankenstein. Genevieve, let's pull a card for you. Genevieve, I think I read what you wrote. You said, of course, there's a guy. Genevieve, I'm going to tell you this right now. Whatever guy you're thinking of, if he's not being clear with you about what he wants, he is not the right fucking person for you, okay? It's that easy. Someone shouldn't make you feel confused or unsure about how they feel about you, okay? Ever. Wow. Genevieve, this is a beautiful card. It's about healing the star. Aquarius energy. It's about hope. Genevieve, you shouldn't have to ask somebody or yell at them about what you want. Maybe you need to learn something about yourself. You know, Genevieve, you run out of hope when you're chasing the wrong things and the wrong people. You can't change someone. And you know what? If you have to wait around for somebody who's shown you how much they appreciate you or how little they appreciate you, this might be something for you to learn about yourself and your own self-worth. Why would you want to be with somebody who has to fuck up or lose you to know what you're worth? I don't have to fuck up to appreciate somebody. I know how to do that the first time. But this is about healing and knowing that there's going to be something better for you. But you have to let go of the people and the things that you know are making you lose hope. And Genevieve, is it really so much worse for right now to be alone? Hey, come here. Fuck, sorry, Indy saw a bird. Come here, stay. Is it really so much worse to be alone than to be, like, enmeshed with some fucking asshole who doesn't even treat you the way you should be treated? You know, Genevieve, we usually only tolerate like the level of pain and I'm gonna say abuse that we're willing to inflict on ourselves. So you shouldn't have to tell somebody how to treat you right, all right? And that took me a long time to realize because I used to be like pulled to the same types of women over and over again. You know, I was like addicted to dating like like avoidant, emotionally unavailable, like absolutely beautiful women with lots of trauma and high sex drives. And then I would wonder why none of my fucking relationships worked out, you know? So maybe you need to ask yourself why you're attracted to people like this who aren't clear about what they're looking for. Maybe you're not clear about what you're looking for because if you are, you'll be able to identify when someone like this shows up and they're hot and cold and they're not being direct with you, and you'll be able to determine that's so not the right person for you, and you'll be able to move on. You know what? Life hits hard for everybody, all right? You don't learn anything about yourself when things are going well, all right? You're going to learn a lot about someone else by how they show up for you when things aren't going well. That's when you learn about yourself and someone else. So, you know what, Genevieve? You have choices, but I'm going to suggest to you that you close that door and move on. Because you know what? The universe is not going to help to move you in the right direction if you're keeping yourself stuck and you're leaving the door open for this guy to text you in 3 days and be like, yo, right? He's going to send you some bullshit text when he doesn't hear from you. He's going to say like, hey, what's up? Do you really think this guy's going to suddenly change, like magically change overnight? Come on, no. You got to start seeing people clearly. All right? You can't make people change. You need to have boundaries, real boundaries, not like, oh, I'm going to teach him a lesson and cut him off so he wants to reach out to me. No. Don't turn this guy into some, like, idealized version of who you want him to be. You know what? It's much easier to have a relationship with somebody that you don't have to fix or you don't have to change. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's much easier to have a relationship with somebody where you are happy with who they are right now. And sometimes those lessons take forever to learn, and some people don't ever learn them. Hey, stop. Sorry, guys. I think Indy saw a rival. Genevieve, I think you need to right now focus on healing parts of yourself before you can have a good relationship. You know, how are you supposed to see other people clearly, like if they're right for you or wrong for you, until you can see yourself clearly? Like, you know, where some of your wounds come from, or why you might be, you know, drawn to people like that. Because, you know, often if we don't really see that about ourselves, you're just gonna fall for another fucking, like, unavailable, like, emotionally unavailable guy with, like, high cheekbones, okay? You have to be rooted in what you really want. So that way, when the wrong person shows up, or somebody who's, like, hot and cold, or you have to, like, literally, like, be at a place where you're in tears because he can't be clear with you, you're going to keep repeating this with the same types of people. It took me a long time to figure that out. I'm 38. But you know what? Only when I did, and I actively chose to spend a lot of time alone, did I end up meeting somebody who was not like everybody else that I was with, you know? So, But good luck. It's not too late. There's no experiences that are wasted if you learn from them. So and if you'd ever like to spend more time on this off air, please just email me. So all right, guys, I think I'm gonna split. I'm kind of donezo. Oh, thank you so much, Genevieve. You're so welcome. That was really generous of you. You're gonna be fine. All right. How many times do you need to repeat to someone your needs and they don't change? Momo, that's a great question. And this is not a Stefan quote. I'm going to share something that I read from a relationship therapist who's quite brilliant. If you express your needs to somebody once, that's okay. Real needs. If you have to express what you need like more than once, let's say 2 times, somebody acknowledges them and then doesn't change, that's manipulation. So to me, you should have conversations once with somebody and they should result in like improved communication, like a change in behavior. And if you're expressing the same things that are important to somebody like 2 times, 3 times, that's too many. That's your answer, okay? All right, guys, I think I'm gonna split. It's getting a little chilly and it's like 8 o'clock here, so. But it was great to see everybody, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thank you all for your kind words today about my dog. Helped a lot. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna start streaming every day again now that I'm back and I'm caught up on sleep. So, and yeah, please feel free to email me if you'd like a private reading. I'll have some free time this week. My email is in my video descriptions on my channel page. So, and yeah, I'll see everybody tomorrow. So, have a great rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Thanks, Jackie. I will. Okay. Much love, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow.